Hello everybody and welcome back again to YellowCard Vanguard's weekly wrap-up. We're well on the way with the Bermuda Triangle reveals and it's coming out in already 2 weeks. That's pretty fast. So without further ado, let's get into it. Our first card we have today is the new Chocho Crit Trigger, Rosetta. This card is immediately good. Though it might not solve all of the resource problems that Chocho has, it does serve a purpose in providing the soul and the countercharge that Chocho does need.
I'm putting this as good plus. This is generic as well, you have to remember. So like Harmony is not a very xenophobic deck, so I think that I would play this as well. All the various sub-clan themed decks would probably want to play this as well, like Coral, Pacifica, etc, etc. It's just really, really good. Like it's just something that you never not want to have.
Next card, we have another Chocho, Vernu. She's a new grade 3. I don't think she's better than Chirowa, so that's why I'm putting her at playable only. Chirowa does something for the deck that basically is the deck's engine, and I don't think that her effects on the rear nor the Vanguard circle are enough to push Chirowa out of the main grade 3 ride slot.
I think this one's actually niche plus. The fact that it doesn't free stride is really, really damaging, but the fact that it gives you a bigger plus on the stride is actually kind of nice. One of the reasons that Chirowa was so good was because you could splash into the Harmony builds, because you could still pay the cost for the on-stride, and even though you don't reveal a Shushu, you could still do stuff. Whereas this requires you to be fully Shushu. It gives you a bit more value out of it, but losing the free stride I think is what really hurts it. And you're not replacing Muritz either, because Muritz is your engine. So yeah, it is competing directly with Chirowa.
We've got the new duo Perfect Guard, Korima. I have this card as good. I think this does replace the duo PG. It does provide the resource that it needs, and basically it matches the duo's game plan to get those resources back.
Yeah, I've got this card as good plus as well. It helps you recycle your étoiles that you might run out of. That is what you need for running the Infinite Loop combo, or the Never Deck Out combo, which is, I think, still the right play for duo. It has some use in the other duo builds, like Mir and Right, but we'll have to see exactly what other cards of those archetypes get as support for now.
We've got Cho Cho Grandpa. I think this card is playable, and it's also very cute. I think that if Chocho gets the resource generation that it wants, then this card can actually provide lots of push and lots of reach in one turn.
I've got this card as niche minus. For this card to even be considerable, Shushu's resource engine needs to be buffed to beyond recognition. Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 is extremely hard to pay. It fits in with the rest of your attack patterns really weirdly, because in an ideal Apriya turn you're resetting your entire board anyway, so being able to use her means you're not committing to the full board reset, which means I think you'll be losing value somewhere. Like, the fact that she stands and gets power is cute. Like, hitting a 14k isn't really something that the deck needs to do that badly.
And we're finally moving on to the newly revealed Prism stuff. Brand new Prism, Glitter Emerald. I have this card set as playable minus. I think the effect is good. The problem is Prism has always had this problem, and it's very xenophobic, and this further exaggerates how xenophobic they are when this card is combined with the new PG and the new Garnet Stride.
I think this card's actually playable plus. Like, you say it's xenophobic, but it's not special counterblast. You don't have to bounce Prism Rearguards. You don't have to call a Prism card from hand. It's actually not that bad. And the fact that it's when you ride or stride and it's not once per turn means you can do some shenanigans with a Sunshine Vert. So I think this card's actually not too bad. Like, I think it actually might even replace Vert as your main grade 3 at this point. Like, you still probably play Labrador and grade 3 Garnet as your break ride targets, but I think this card just gives you an actual usable on-stride effect, and I think that alone makes it worth a lot.
The Sapphire PG, basically it's a vanilla PG for Prism units only, and it basically turns on LB5 for your Garnet. I think this card is good in the context of having Garnet to run, but that's pretty much it. It is still xenophobic, only being able to protect your Prisms. If they attack your Spikas, you'd have to let them die unless you have the G-Guard that spins it back to hand.
I think this card is a playable minus, because the second effect doesn't work with the old Garnet grade 3, because that's an LB5 skill you gain on attack. So you miss the timing to turn the +1 drive into Limit Break 4, which is a bit iffy, because you choose the ability, not choose your Vanguard. So I think that's why this card is maybe not as good as it could be. Like, it's an effect PG that's better than what we currently have, but then again, some people are still playing Cookery, the countercharge PG in Prism, despite the deck being super xenophobic, just because the deck really needs its resources. I do like this, and I'm quite glad that Sapphire got the retrain, because Sapphire's one of my favorite Prisms, but I don't see this card being like, oh wow, this is great. It's just a slight upgrade.
Finally, to wrap up this week, we've got brand new Prism, Shining Garnet. I think the effect is really good, but the restrictions make it a bit not great for me. So I'm going to give this good minus. I think all your units getting a crit is very strong, but it being restricted to Prism means that you're actually not able to do strong Spika Crook spam turns where you attack with 8 different crits at the same time. And the hearts that you're limited to are basically Emerald, that lets you basically scale up in the late game.
Yeah, I've got this card as a playable minus. I'm a bit underwhelmed. It feels like it only works with Emerald, really. Like, sure, if you stride onto one of your 2 Limit Break 4 attackers, like Labrador or the old Grade 3 Garnet, you gain an on-attack skill. You basically just counterblast 1, flip 2 G units, so you gain an extra drive check at that point, and that feels kind of weak in my opinion. The Limit Break 5 I think is what really makes this card pop. Like, as you say, it doesn't work with Spicker or Crook, but it still has some effectiveness. The deck still can multi-attack quite well, so having that plus crit is nice. The fact that it only works with Emerald is a bit disappointing.
That was it for this week's Card of the Day wrap-up.
If you enjoyed what you saw today, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and the bell button so that you're the very first to get our new videos. Also, leave a comment below on what you think about these newly revealed cards.
And on Monday, come watch our podcast where we tie up all the cards in further detail. Thanks for watching. This has been YellowCard Vanguard, and that's it from us for now.